What is their obsession with making nobody wants kids? We don't want to play as Atreus. We don't want to spin off as Atreus. We don't. Why do you guys keep making games about like 15-year-old boys? Leave me alone. Go to Epstein's Island or something. Whatever the fuck it is, people like, I don't know what they're doing, but leave me the fuck alone. I want to be Kratos, motherfucker. I put up this video yesterday about my thoughts on God of War: Sons of Sparta, and I was very aggressive in, to some extent. I mean, it's theater. It's meant to be theater. It's meant to be a little dramatic and stuff. But I did go back and spend another 3 hours playing it, and nothing has really changed. But what has come into focus is the following. My aggressivity towards the game really came from the fact that I think it was a very stupid call. And I'm tied into it more because I not only, did I work at that studio and worked on that game, but I get the sense I know why the worm is turning over there. And I don't know how well it bodes for the God of War trilogy. Like, let me show you guys something, right? Let me show you another trailer just to give you, we're going to talk about gameplay in a second. But if you look at Sons of Sparta and you don't understand why after that, looking at this trailer, which is Belmont's Curse, that was also revealed on the same day. Belmont's Curse looks higher quality graphics, effects are cool, the weapons you get to use are cool, the enemies seem really interesting and neat, you feel powerful, the cutscenes feel, it's very operatic because it's Castlevania. It's hard to look at this and not be a little pissed if you love God of War. Because don't fucking tell me, and you're saying they're tearing me apart on Reddit, don't fucking tell me, Reddit, that if God of War showed up, God of War Sons of Sparta showed up, and it had this kind of fluidity, and you're like, shit, Kratos can do that cool move, or look at the effects, or look at the enemy designs, or look at the attacks you get, like when she slams the ground and it's like all the fire comes up. I'm not saying that's the world's greatest or most interesting thing. But it's at least it feels like a real fucking big boy Metroidvania. It feels like a real fucking game. Not like a mobile phone game. Okay. I'm sorry. And that hasn't changed from what I thought yesterday. And I've played, like I said, now about 4 hours, of the game. This looks so much better. Agreed. Now, what I also said yesterday is what I had played of Sparta is fine. It's competent. It's a well-made game. And I stand by that to a large extent. But I don't think it's a great game, and it certainly isn't worthy of the God of War name. But just compare this before we get into specifics to this. And again, I am not one of these guys that doesn't like pixel art. I love pixel art. I love Way Forward. I love Neon Inferno. I love Iron Meat. I'm sorry, you can't come at me and say, oh, you just don't like this kind of art. No, I fucking do. I love chunky pixel art and everything. This looks like they couldn't make up their minds. It's like either go super pixely and make it look like Dead Cells or something like that, or go super fluid like the latest Shinobi, or what we are kind of seeing. It's not as fluid in Castlevania as Shinobi was, but do fucking something. And then on top of it, this character is a total dullard so far. But let me also show you. So here's what I can tell you. People will say, oh, well, Jaffe, you haven't made a great game in a long time. It's like, first off, bitch, you ain't ever made any game. So sit the fuck down. That's A. B, even though my last couple of games were not big hits, what I will tell you is the chops of design are still the same. Okay, there's a lot of reasons games work and don't work, but the concept of being able to look at a game, and this is one of the reasons that I'm super pissed at Santa Monica right now. Not just because they took this, I'm not pissed. I don't care. I'm not like, I'm going to call them up. But I'm just saying it's infuriating because, not just because they, I think, made a game that nobody wants, in my opinion. I don't think most people want to play Kratos as this kid. What is their obsession with making, nobody wants kids. We don't want to play as Atreus. We don't want to spin off as Atreus. Why do you guys keep making games about like 15-year-old boys? Leave me alone. Go to Epstein's Island or something, whatever the fuck it is. People like, I don't know what they're doing, but leave me the fuck alone. I want to be Kratos, motherfucker. Jesus fucking Christ. Why is that so hard? Yeah, well, you see, his story. Oh, it's so gross. Anyway, the point is this, though. The point is this. Well, they should have hired the Metroid Dread developers, which are the Spanish team, which is a great development team, by the way. I didn't like their onboarding, but I've never complained about Metroid Dread being a quality product. The fluidity of the animation, the graphics, the monsters. No, I'm not. No. And oh, this is what I was going to say. It pissed me off. Sony used to have, and maybe they still have this, but they used to have a great group of executives that were creative executives. Now, I know Scott Rhodey is still there, but one man can only do so much, right? I just want to take you through what maybe a development team might miss, but the creative executives at Sony and specifically Santa Monica, people needed to have caught this and they didn't. And this is one of the reasons. ADD people, look it up. ADD people, and I have severe ADD, are really good at reading people quickly and reading things quickly. I'm rarely wrong about stuff like that. Similarly here, my first blush after an hour was, this is a competent-esque game, but it's not great. And now I have a little bit more experience playing it, and I can articulate what it is about this, that if you're working at fucking Sony Santa Monica and you were in charge of this, you should probably be ashamed of yourself or get put into a different position, because there are some fucking Bush League mistakes, in my opinion, that keeps this from being not only a first party quality game, but a game that is carrying water for one of your biggest fucking franchises. Here's one of the problems with the game. Now, this is not going to get you to buy it or not buy it, but this is Bush League, okay? Parrying in the game is important. I don't know how important, but it's a valuable tool. They go out of their way to make that clear to you. Okay, great. Parrying, like in any other game, is important to be able to read the patterns of the enemies, to read their animation, and when they're about to attack, you learn the timing, and it allows you to advance and be better, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. I want you to watch this. This is ridiculous. This is stuff we solved in Twisted Metal 1. When we had explosions hitting cars, and the explosions, we learned we had to shrink the explosions or make some of them go translucent, or even just not draw the explosion sometimes when missiles hit, depending on the distance you were from the target, because sometimes the explosion was so big, you couldn't see what you were doing. So ask yourself, and I'll just play a handful of these, ask yourself, how in the fuck I'm supposed to parry when I can't even see what the enemy's doing, because the stupid fucking health bar is giant above their head, your effects when you hit them, the orbs of other enemies flying around. Just watch. I put about 4 or 5 of these together. Watch this and tell me this could not be easily solved. And the fact that no one saw it and they chose, or if they did, they chose to leave it in, insane. Right? It'll get worse. You'll see it. All the visual noise that's getting in the way of being able to read the animation of the enemy. Your attack, your impact attack needs to be shrunk down, or it needs to be drawn behind the enemy when they are attacking. Because you can't see. Look at this. How am I supposed to read that animation? And it would be fine if it was a game that didn't ask you to parry or block, or if these were moves that these are moves that they can do while you're attacking. There are some moves, of course, that your attack will bring them out of their animation, and that's great. But most of these moves, when they swing their swords or they do their jumps with a little spider or whatever, those, you can't knock them out of the animation. So you button pounding is not going to do it. So the game is asking you to pay attention. It's asking you to pay attention to the animation. And then they put a bunch of fucking schmutz all over the fucking camera to keep you from being able to read it. Now you can say, Jaffe, that's minor. It's not minor. That's what it means to make a first-party game. That's what it means to make a Castlevania game. That's what it means to be a fucking professional. And yeah, I do get pissed off at Sony because that's their job. The team may not have known it, but somebody at Sony should have said, guys, we got to solve this problem. So that's problem A. Here's another one. This is tons of visual inconsistencies that make the game confusing. You don't know what is background. You don't know what is foreground. Okay. And I want you to watch and see how inconsistent. Now, maybe in their logic, they're like, oh, no, that's in the background because X, Y, Z. Fine. But that logic may hold throughout the whole game, but visually, their visual language is not communicating that. So first, let's watch the most obvious, which is here's a Kratos, Atreus, whatever this kid's name is. Here's some random 15-year-old that they're obsessed with. Throwing his, whatever, slingshot from Apollo. Okay, cool, fine. So in this case, the physics of the rock that he throws, they're sending out a line and they're going, oh, it collided, play the collision and kill the object. Totally fine. But if that's the case, then why are you showing me the target? Because this is communicating visually that I'm going to hit the guy. Otherwise, this would be being blocked by the geometry. This is basic shit that I've seen indie games in Unity do. It's not like, dude, you're asking for a processing miracle. No, I'm not. No, I'm fucking not. It ain't like there's, 1,000. It's not like we're not talking about a Misu game with thousands of people on the screen, but it gets worse. Okay, so now he comes up here and it's like this one should hit and this one does hit. Okay, now watch this though. In this case, right, so this one is not going to hit, but the aiming reticle goes through the game. Oh, shut up, you crystal piece of shit. I'm educating you. This is a goddamn masterclass. Cryusa, whatever the fuck your name is. You're a moron if you don't appreciate the wisdom that is being handed down to you. Sit the fuck down, you fucking inbred hillbilly. Watch this. Okay, so it should go through. It doesn't. That should go through. It doesn't. Okay, fine. It keeps getting worse, though. This is just an example. See one example. Here's another one. Okay, now in this case, you'd go, well, what did we just learn, fellas? What did we just learn? We learned, okay, I guess the rocks can't go through walls, and it's very specific, and it's very, like, we're going to hold the, you look, man, sorry, we're going to err on the side of, even if it looks, the aiming reticle tells you you can't go through walls. Okay, fine. Hey, guess what Atreus is doing? Kratos is doing. Bump, 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 bump. It goes through walls. It goes through everything. And the developer will tell you, no, Jaffe, it's not going through it. Those things are in the background. Okay, well, if that's the case, then why does this and this look pretty much the same as this, where he's standing? But it gets worse. It gets worse. Right? It makes no sense why this should go through. And here's how I know it makes no sense. You could even argue that this piece of rock is in the background, but this ledge is in the foreground. How do I know that? Because in a minute, Kratos can jump from this ledge to this ledge. Okay? But somehow the rock will go past this one. Okay? Here's another one. Look at this. What did we learn a minute ago? We learned that when you throw the rock, it will go through the background, except when it doesn't. Now it's hitting there. Doesn't go through here. But it will now it'll go through because it's not. I mean, what are they doing? What the fuck are they doing? And I'm sorry, but this is what creative executives do. You get a build, you sit there, you put your music on, you open up a spreadsheet and you obsess, and you don't come home till 3 a.m. for 4 days in a row. And the team hates it because come Monday morning, they get a list of notes and they're like, fuck, as much as we hate a lot of these, a lot of them are spot on. We have to fix it. So fuck you, Reddit. Okay. Pardon me for wanting to continue to, make Sony and Sony Santa Monica specifically and have expectations that team, the studio that I co-built with Alan and Tim and Shannon, is actually should stay at the level of best in the business. Sorry I had expectations, you non-contributing zero. Let's keep going. Look at this. Now this is a peach, hon. I got stuck on this puzzle. Do you know why I got stuck on this puzzle? I understand that I'm supposed to throw my rock at these little yellow things. I get it. But why in the fuck, why in the fuck would I think I could hit this? Because there's a big wall in the way. Well, there's not really. There's not really a big wall in the way. It just looks like there is. Watch this. Now it works. How in the fuck? How hard would it have been? Like, how did this not get caught by anyone at the team at, what are they called? Mad Cats or Angry Cat, whatever the fuck they're called, or at Sony Santa Monica, and go, you know what? That puzzle's confusing. Here's what you need to do. You need to get rid of that wall. And yes, but the support structure of these pulley systems, it needs to be cut, can't be hanged. No one cares. No one's going to notice. Okay. And if so, figure it out. You're an artist, but that looks like it's blocking the goddamn fucking thing. So I go off wandering, going, where's the fucking puzzle? How do I solve it? Okay, that's one example. It gets worse. Now, this one, this game, the game basically is asking me this is where it wants my eye to go. It wants my eye to go to the fact that, oh, Jaffe, don't you see these bars have been broken? And the puzzle solve is you recognizing it, which they don't even look like bars that have been broken. The bars just look like grass growing out of a rock, don't they? They don't look like bars that are broken. So that it wasn't like, oh, I can, I didn't think I couldn't shoot through that, but I certainly didn't read that was the solve. I just assumed that was the background. The reason I bring that up is look over here now, this next puzzle or whatever, right over in this next part. I guess this is what they look like when they're pristine. Well, what they should have done, if this really was what I needed to see, is even though this still is blocking it in some ways, but they should have basically had something where I can destroy this if I get close enough, or they didn't establish the visual language that this and those broken bars are somehow, when they're broken, they look like this. So that was totally confusing. It made no sense. Okay. Here's another one. A lot of this game looks like you can go places and it's just a blank wall. Like, how are you the art director on this game and you don't recognize this looks like an opening, but it's not? You could have just put a big rock there, but they didn't, but they should have. Let's keep going. The game, here's another one. I'll roll through that cave. No, you won't, because it's not a cave. It's just a rock. Here's another one. Look at this game. And I hate to, no, I don't. I was going to say, I hate to be so annoying about it. I really don't. I'm passionate about this. You should be too, if you care about design. I want you to think about this for a minute. The game has a lot of these ledges that you can jump up to, and they do a pretty good job of sort of magnetizing you. Thank you, Juicy Booch, for the super chat. Magnetizing you towards the ledge so you go into your hang. Okay, cool. Except when they don't. Like here, I don't know why this magically doesn't let me grab it. That one kind of makes sense. It's too far up. But what about this one? They don't let you do it. I can do it there. You can't do it on this one right here. Look at this. Why not? Just cause. I understand, by the way, that perhaps they're like, look, when we have a magnetization visual thing here that sucks you in, we can't have two back to back because it creates bugs or whatever. Totally fine. Then you know what you do? You make this platform shorter so you don't have the visual inconsistency. Or you come up with visual language to explain why some things can't be hung on and make that visual language readable, because it ain't readable here. Thank you very much, baby. I appreciate it. What'd you get? You guys got the Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah.
How much were they? Did they take credit cards? They took credit cards? Girl Scout cookies, you guys. Oh, here's another one. These things are all over the game. They're kind of annoying. But they're a consistent piece of visual language. These hanging little whatever, you can hit them and they'll give you yellow orbs, except the ones that are in the background. And those are clearly in the background. The lighting shows it. Okay, not a problem. Thank you for being consistent with your visual language. There you go. You see it. Except when they're not consistent with their visual language. The biggest fucking ones that are lit and bright are just art. You can't interact with them. They're just there. They're just there. No, this one you're wrong on. The ones you can't hit has sparkles. No, you're wrong. The ones that have sparkles mean that they haven't been exhausted yet. Here's some sparkles right here, which means you can hit it if they have sparkles and yellow will come out of it. But you can still hit it without the sparkles. It's just nothing happens, but it moves back and forth. Now, again, is that a problem? Not in the grand scheme of things, but these things add up to, like I said, the reason I mentioned that I have ADD and I can read things very quickly and very well and accurately for the most part, a couple mistakes in my past, but mostly I'm right, is I could tell within an hour of playing this that this just wasn't ready. There was just, I couldn't articulate it yet, but all of these things add up. Let's keep going. There's more, my friends. Here is a problem, though, that has haunted, certainly God of War 2018 suffered from this. God of War 20 Ragnarok really suffered from this. Surprisingly, the God of War game with the most sort of overt user interface necessity was God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, and it wasn't as big of a problem. But here, we're back to whoever's designing the interface, it's just shit. Okay, let me explain this. Let me show you what's happening here. You go to the screen where you fuck with the tools, with your items. Okay. Now let's for the moment assume, by the way, that your average person doesn't know what a dory is or an aspis is. It's not relevant. It's not massively important, but I don't know if a dory is the name of the meta topic. Is it a spear? And then there are things underneath the spear, or is a dory a type of spear? Is a Spartan aspis a shield, and then there's like 30 kinds of aspices that I can unlock? Or is aspis a one type of shield, and that's the shield I've picked up? So first off, that's a problem, but whatever. They should have fixed that, but whatever. Now watch this. You can go to your gear, and if you press Spartan aspis level 2, here's what happens. It's very confusing. Then it goes to this, Rim of Restoration. And if you click Rim of Restoration, right, that you have Spartan Trust. But in Spartan Trust is lit up because I'm hovered over it, I guess. But Rim of Restoration is what I have equipped, right? But Spartan Trust, because it's got the circle filled in, looks like that's what I have equipped, even if it wasn't for the highlight, right? And I didn't even know I had anything buried underneath the shield in terms of multiple shield rim types or whatever. I have two. I have Spartan Trust and Rim of Restoration, because I didn't even know that the aspis was the meta category. And you have the same problem with the spear, right? This is confusing. It doesn't make any sense why the people at Sony wouldn't have said, hey guys, like, did anybody check this? Did you guys just say, fuck it, give them a check and let them publish it? Did anybody put this through playtest? What the fuck is this? It just doesn't make sense. Okay, so they got a confusing user interface, just like Ragnarok did, but fine, let's keep moving. This is weird too. The game has fast travel, which is great. But look how God, it's just, you know what? Yeah, I am mad. I'm not mad, but it infuriates me that no one caught this. And it's not going to make the game sink or swim individually, but add all of this stuff together. Okay? Watch this. You go to the fast travel and you go to this map. Beats the fuck out of me because all these things are glowing and high. I'm going to unpause it in a minute, but I want you to look at this. This is glowing and sending out a ring. This is glowing. I think you're here, but I can't really tell because this fucking text is blocking the map. Okay. So I want you to watch this and watch how confusing this whole fucking thing is. So all those things are shining and like, what? Can I go to any of these? What does this mean? I don't know. It turns out that you're here. So these should have been indented. So it was clear that Laconian Woods, that Canopy is within Laconian Woods. Temple of Apollo is in Temples of Olympus. But instead, the font is similar. The coloring similar. You don't really understand it. So what it's saying is you are here now. And if you want to go somewhere else, God knows where Temple of Apollo is. Is it one of these glowing things? Nope. It's way down there. Is it that one? I don't know. right? I mean, this is just junk. It's junk. This is the first time I found this dead animal. I go to the dead animal. There's a triangle above it. I click the triangle. Ooh, what's going to happen? Finders keepers, objective started. Wait, what? The fuck is that? I don't know. Let me see if I can figure it out. It doesn't tell you what it means. You go to your pause screen. It doesn't tell you what it means. It's like you just told me I've started an objective and you're not explaining what the fuck the objective is or what do I do? What are you talking about? Level design. Okay. I don't know if this is what happened, but it feels like they designed the levels first and then tried to shoehorn the way the character moves in it versus adjusting the levels. Because there are a number of places in this game where his jump or his, like when he lands from a jump and you hit jump and you want to jump again, look how many times I'm falling off things, not because I'm an idiot, but you're having to wrestle in places with the controls where some of the ledges are too small for him to take a step before he jumps. There's like 2 examples of this. Watch this. I want to go. Okay. Right. I could not. What anybody who plays 2D games knows is when I landed on that second orange block, immediately you want to hit the jump button again. But apparently, I don't know if the character has to reset. I don't know if you press the jump button, but it doesn't read the jump button until the land animation is concluded. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it makes you fall off of a lot of things. Here it is again. Right? What? What? There it is again. Okay, now there's another one coming up. Well, this time I stopped and I'm like, okay, I guess this just controls like shit. There it is again. It doesn't feel generous, and then it feels like that. Like, come on, man. What do you think? I mean, come on. I want to hit that. See how annoying that is? I want to hit this big okay, watch this orange block on the left of your screen that I'm about to jump through. And right when I hit it, anybody who plays games knows that your instinct is to jump again. Instead, you have to stop, I guess, and wait for him to finish. I don't know if you're waiting for an animation to finish. Watch this. Jump. Now jump again. Nope, sorry. Sorry, you don't get it. Fuck you. Yep, you don't get it. Fuck you. It needs to be a lot more fucking fluid. There it is. You get the idea. Okay, let's move on. This is something, man. And this is one of the reasons, which we're about to switch gears and talk about God of War Trilogy, that I am worried about Santa Monica with God of War right now. Because you saw it with 2018, but 2018 was a great fucking game, and it was interesting enough that they could get away with Atreus and all that and blah, blah, blah. But it feels like they think it, and I think I know, I could be wrong. The last time I heard who was running Sony Santa Monica now, it ain't Yumi anymore. I didn't know Yumi had left. It's somebody who I think is more about getting the pat on the head from the executives than really fighting the good fight. And it shows. Because someone, in my opinion, of course, but someone here seems to think now they're making games. Hey, I have kids now. I want a game I can play with my kids, and I want Kratos to be feisty, and I don't know what the fuck these guys were thinking. But look at not just the terrible voice acting, not of T.C. Carson, of course, but pretty much everyone else. The kid who plays young Kratos is relatively okay, but all the rest of them are terrible. It's almost like, and the daughter, Calliope, I'm certain that's somebody's kid at the studio because she's rubbish. Not as a human. I'm sure she's a delightful child and I wish her well, but come on. And then listen, I just want you to listen to some of this fucking dialogue. Listen to this fucking shit.
You left fur all over the sculptor's office.
Right. Well, what are the odds? Phasalis, help me look for that thing I was looking for. I know I'd be sad if it was our property that was stolen.
Oh, right. The thing.
You escaped punishment today, you pair of monkeys.
Hey, either of you seen lions in this forest?
No way. Lions don't live anywhere near here.
Talking monkeys? The gods are so silly sometimes.
Calliope.
Well, they are, aren't they?
Shall I continue or not?
Yes, please.
Are you shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? It's terrible. Just fucking terrible. Jaffe, it's not a good look to blindly speculate about what. Who gives a shit if it's not a good look, Matt? I know what's going on there more than most people. And I know the person who I've been told is running the place now. But yeah, you know what? Sorry, I'm a fucking fan. I paid $30. They didn't give me this for free. I'm not getting paid to jizz all over this fucking thing. And I'm telling you that as somebody who spent his money and also has a deep relationship and love, not just of the game, but of the studio. Sorry. And I do worry that is going, because people have been speculating, well, are they going to have a problem with the gore and the nudity and the sexuality? And I was like, no, I have no information on this, but I'm like, no, they're not going to have a problem with that. They know that the audience would fucking eat them alive. The audience clearly is eating this up. So, maybe that's not the case. Hector, hey, buddy. Hector says there's a 9-minute doc on the game if you want to review it. Not really, because it doesn't matter. People are like, people love to parrot the marketing. Sorry, Sony marketing. Sorry, Sony PR. But to show people how it works. But all these people who are now basically parroting, it's a passion project. Who gives a shit? What the fuck do I care? It wasn't a passion project for me to fucking reach into my wallet and pay for the goddamn thing. Why the fuck do that doesn't mean that they get a get out of jail free card and doing the work. It's not, Now again, what I would say though about this is that there are good things about this game so far. I don't plan on continuing to play it. I've put about 4 hours in. I'm good. I have other things I'm enjoying a lot more. But at a level design standpoint, at the sense of unlocking things to advance, going back here and there and whatever, it's a competent Metroidvania. It's not a bad game by any means, but it is a terrible God of War game. It is a terrible first party game. And it is an embarrassment that Sony Santa Monica allowed this to go out.